Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go back at you with my brothers Vlad and Barry. What's good, my dudes?
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, we're here, ready to go. We're on episode 31.
Episode 31. Who's 31? Brandon Merriweather.
Yeah, Brandon Merriweather, Jonathan Jones.
Yep, Jonathan Jones. He had a nice interception yesterday.
Cedric Maxwell, if we want to go old school.
Old school. Remember, Merriweather used to headhunt everybody. That
Oh,
dude
yeah, for
was
sure,
nuts,
man.
yo.
Like, once a week, he'll do a helmet-to-helmet hit on someone. Right. Imagine if he played right now.
Right. I think he has a podcast of his own, too. He's actually not bad.
Oh, wow. He does do one?
Yeah,
Wow.
he does. And he'll come through on, like, Super Bowl weekends and stuff. And
He used to show up on the morning show on 98.5.
I used to hear him.
Yeah.
I used to hear him.
He used to be a guest
Touch
on
and
it.
Rich.
Yeah.
Shout outs to him, man. Man, as always, please follow us on social media. You know, we're doing well on there right now. So we're on Instagram, profans_sports. Please follow us. We're on twitter.com/profansports, facebook.com/profansports. And if you like to watch videos on YouTube, that's youtube.com/profansports. Our episodes drop every Tuesday on every major platform. So whatever you can think of, we're on there. You know, no doubt about that. And then our videos drop every Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. Press the notification bar. Please keep subscribing, telling your friends about it. You know what I'm saying? Keep watching and sharing, man. And as always, we're going to go into the NBA. Talk about the rest of the finals, with what's going on there. We're going to go into the NFL, the situation with the Patriots, as well as some of the big games around the league. And then we saw some coaches get fired as well. We'll go into the NHL, where, you know, we have very few news happening over there since, you know, it's the season's over. And then the MLB, which is in playoffs right now. We'll go over that. And then Vlad will hip you to the soccer, and then we have the B-Money Lifestyle Person of the Week, or maybe that's a surprise this week. So let's go, fellas. Last time we spoke, Miami and Lakers were going to go into it for Game 6, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so since then...
Game 6, yeah.
Well, everybody knows by now, Lakers champions.
Lakers won the championship, you know what I'm saying? But we haven't spoken about it, you know, on the podcast. We got to make sure we did that. So Miami's faced the Lakers in Game 6, and we saw the Lakers take it, and, you know, they tied the Celtics for the most championships in NBA history with 17 apiece. You know, I know a lot of Celtics fans were not happy about that, so we're rooting for him to not make that, you know, but unfortunately that's the case right now. So what you guys think? You know, there's LeBron's legacies in question. There's a couple guys that their legacies in question as well from the Lakers side, so let's talk about it a little bit. What was your thought on Game 6? Since I know you, Vlad, you wanted Miami to win.
Yeah, I was rooting for Jimmy Butler, precisely. And I feel as if he had a great story through this season and through the bubble, and the way he was pushing his teammates and his energy. I just loved all that. But unfortunately, you know, I knew it was going to be a tall task to be done. But congratulations to the Lakers. You know, the Lakers made it hard for Miami, and LeBron James, Anthony Davis, you know, they all deserve it. Those guys fought hard and they made it happen.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised about how the series ended. I had a pretty good feeling going into Game 6 that the Lakers were going to be able to, you know, win that game and close out the series. And win another championship, and that's exactly what they did. I thought they certainly played really well. They pretty much dominated the game in all phases for the most part, and showed that they were a much better team and on a different level, and they were determined to to win that that championship, and that's exactly what they did. I thought really everybody played well for them. Like, it just wasn't all LeBron and AD. I thought their role players contributed for them, and they got good efforts and good minutes out of everyone that was on the court. So they definitely deserved to be champs. Thought they were the best team that in the playoffs, that in the bubble, and dominated pretty much all their series for the most part, with the exception of a few games. But they certainly were showed why they were why they're champions, and but definitely much respect and give a lot of credit to the Miami Heat and the way they played in this playoffs, and they showed that they're certainly not too far off from being a championship team, and they showed a lot of heart and grit and in a lot of toughness, a lot of mental toughness from that team. From Jimmy Butler to Bam Adebayo and the rest of those guys. Definitely, showed me a lot and impressed me a lot with how hard they played and competed against a team that was superior to them in the Lakers. So definitely got to give those guys credit for the way they played, and even pushing this series to a Game 6, because what it looked like earlier in the series, it looked like it was going to be a easy sweep for the Lakers, and that didn't happen. Miami were able to get a couple wins and put some pressure on the Lakers and make them actually earn this finals, and that's what they did. So it was a good series to watch, and congrats to the Los Angeles Lakers on winning their 17 championships. I know it sucks that they're at 17 now, tied with the Celtics, because as a Celtics fan, you don't want to see that. But, I mean, we knew that this was going to happen, so it is what it is. So this should be motivation for the Celtics to get that 18th banner and championship in the near future. So hopefully it pushes those guys to get better for next year.
Yeah, that's a fact. I echo what you said, man. I like seeing Jimmy Butler will his team to wins, and that's what you expect, some of the best players in the league to do. That's why we harp on, giving it your all. And what it looked like Miami gave it their all on Game 5, because they came out and they were pretty much flat all Game 6, man. What was the Lakers up, like 30 at some point? You know what I'm saying?
It reminded sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It reminded me of when we played the Lakers, when we won a championship in 08, Game 6, I think we beat the Lakers by like 30-something points.
Yeah.
It reminded me exactly of that game.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Right,
for sure.
No, good call, lad.
Yeah, man, it just looked like these guys had no bounce, man. No bounce.
Yeah, didn't have anything left.
Jimmy Butler was fumbling the ball in the first couple of plays.
Yeah, I mean,
sloppy.
he had no legs, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler had no legs.
I was worried about that too, because you saw the way he
After
looked.
Game 5, like the way he limped off the court, the way he was at the press conference, the way he went, he left the table and was going backstage after the press conference.
Oh, I've seen
you're walking
that
pretty
too.
ginger there, buddy.
Right.
Somebody else had to pick it up. Like, if somebody else was able to pick it up in Game 6, then maybe he would have recovered enough for Game 7. But the Lakers wasn't gonna let that happen. And
there was the adjustment with Vogel sending in Caruso as the starter instead of Dwight to start the game, and that starting five did a lot better defensively than they did with Dwight on the floor, and that was a little wrinkle that they threw in there as well. And Rondo was. It looked like at some point this dude wanted to win the MVP by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a stretch there where Rondo was just killing it.
Well, I think Rondo was instrumental in the Lakers winning. I think without Rondo coming into the series against Denver and just playing the way he did, like when LeBron went on the bench and him taking over the offense, I feel as though he got them going sometimes. Like,
absolutely.
For sure.
Like Rondo is like a legit, like, I don't know, Hall of Fame point guard. Like he's like, you know what I mean? Like every team he's been in, when he's on the team, like you feel as though the team has like a good offense going. I remember when he was in Miami. Sorry, not Miami. When
Pelicans.
He was the Bulls.
Chicago.
I remember when he was with the Bulls.
Oh yeah, that whole bullshit.
He played the Celtics. They were up 2-0 on the Celtics, and he got injured, and the Celtics won that series.
Yeah.
If Rondo stayed. If Rondo stayed, the Celtics don't win that series. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? And he gets a little shit because Rondo is like an agitator. He like getting at people and steering the pot and stuff. But when it comes to like basketball smart and knowing he's offensive, like the offensive part of basketball, he's just, I don't know. I think
his IQ's off the charts.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think he's good at it.
No, you said it exactly right there, Barry. His IQ is just next level, and he did say that after he's done, he's probably gonna go into coaching, and
I can see that. I can see him being a coach.
I can see him being a coach right now. You know what I'm saying? Just based on like you see the guy getting on LeBron during the game, like you got to do this. What is that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was talking about it.
See that like talk to LeBron.
No,
like
nobody does.
Right.
And you can see the respect that LeBron had for Rondo with the way they celebrated, their personal time on the court, how they talked about each other, and Rondo, he doesn't bow down to anybody. He doesn't give a damn who you are. Like Ray Allen, get the fuck out of here. Chris Paul, all right. So and now he has 2 championships, and Chris Paul still has 0. So. When they see each other, he reminds them of that. Like,
absolutely. Like, bro, I got 2 rings now, and you don't even got one yet.
And the thing is, you can't say he didn't deserve any of the ship.
Nah, he was instrumental in every one.
He played an important role in the Celtics one. He played an important role in the Lakers one.
I mean, when he played with the Celtics,
you can never say you went to LA for a championship. Like,
when he won with the Celtics, I can say he was like a top 5 peak point guard in the league. Yeah, like hands down,
already, and he was like really young at the time. He was like 21, second year
or whatever it was.
Right.
Rondo's been.
He couldn't shoot back then.
He couldn't.
Right.
He still can't really shoot.
Well, but
he's gotten better.
He still can't really shoot, but he scored some 3-pointers in the finals.
Right, he hit some shots.
He hit some daggers.
I mean, when you're that open, bro, like,
you better be making it right. You in the NBA, you're that open, like,
Don't be a Danny Green. Don't be a Danny Green. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. He's supposed to be a knockdown shooter. You're right. That's what he's supposed. That's why they pay him, and have him on the team, and he hasn't done that. So
I seen a meme.
You're right.
I seen a meme the other day that had Dwight Howard 3-point shooting 100%. Danny Green, 3-point specialist, 29%.
Didn't he hit like a 3-point shot right at the end of that game? Yeah. I know that's crazy.
That was funny,
he had a high 3-point percentage than Danny Green, who's supposed to be a 3-point shooter, right? And Dwight just shot 1 3. That's crazy.
Yeah, and of course in the game, the MVP came down to Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and LeBron James took his fourth?
Fourth MVP.
Is that fourth MVP for the finals?
Yep, yes, sir.
Okay, how many regular season MVPs do you have? Is that 4 as well?
I want to say 4.
Yeah.
LeBron has 4.
It should be 4, because I know Michael has, 5, I believe?
It's either 5 or 6.
I don't think he has 6 league MVPs. I think he has 5.
Oh yeah, 6
5
finals
league
MVPs,
6 finals.
5 like regular season MVPs.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
You know, this is his 3rd team that he's doing that with, and with that, he becomes the first player to ever do that, right? And of course, subsequently, right after the game happened, you know, everybody's talking point and everybody's debate was about, you know, the legacy of LeBron. You know, is he
LeBron has 4 MVPs.
4 MVPs. Yeah, that's what I thought.
09, 10, 12, and 13.
Yeah, 10 was he definitely deserved it in 10.
Oh, yeah,
sure. I mean, I think he's deserved it in a lot of the seasons it's played. To be honest with you, you know, but you know how the league is; they're gonna give it to other people, you know, just to diversify things. One of them I didn't really agree with was the Steph Curry one, because nobody got a vote other than Steph Curry. And I thought that was weird.
You don't think he deserved
it was like unanimous? No,
MVP,
like
as well as he played that year. He had a great and unbelievable year.
I'm not saying he wasn't the MVP, but the unanimous is what got me. With LeBron James still playing, with Kevin Durant still
But I think
playing,
he clearly outplayed those guys.
I don't think so. Statistically, he was killing the league with threes, but it wasn't like he was that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
he was making plays and creating for others. He was in his bag. He was.
So you're saying LeBron stopped playing?
No, I didn't say that, but I said that
What I'm
he was
saying
cooking
is-
more than everyone else. Like he was doing his thing, and and I felt like played at a higher level.
For him to be the
than
first
everyone else.
unanimous, I didn't agree with that at all. But that's my opinion.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about LeBron's legacy here. To you guys, does that change anything? Does he gain any more respect from you? Like you said, he wants his damn respect. You know, in the conference he had at the end there. You know, when he was doing the interview after the game.
No, you know, definitely I feel as add to his legacy. First player to win 3 championships with 3 different teams. I think it's something that's never been done before. He went to LA and he accomplished what he wanted to get done in LA, even though he got help to do it, but Wood didn't get help to win a championship. You know what I mean? So, it definitely puts him up there. I mean, you gotta say the guy once he got past the Celtics in 2012, he became, you know, somebody that made the finals almost every year except for a couple years. You just gotta give him credit. I mean, LeBron is one of the greatest athlete, greatest player, one of the smartest players we've seen in our generation. And he's been dominating for so many years, you know. Exceed the surmountable expectation that was set for him at 15. Since he was 15, he's been in the eye of the public, and he's been nothing but meeting those expectations. So you gotta give the guy credit when he's done that. So his legacy is up there as one of the greatest, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with that, this definitely this 4th ring and championship for him certainly adds to his legacy, and you know, and it makes him, you know, one of the greatest to ever play. I mean, there's really no debating that, whether you know, like LeBron James or not. I mean, that's just a fact. That's just what it is. He's certainly been by far, you know, the best player in this generation. You know, I think without question, you know, been certainly he's you know, he's been everything you want in a player, pretty much, and some. He's, you know, accomplished it all and done everything you would pretty much want to do in an NBA career. You know, with multiple teams and franchises. You know, there's just no way around that. He's certainly, I think, on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA greatest players of all time. And I think, you know, this 4th championship has solidified and justified that, that he, belongs in that conversation, and is even, I'll leave it a bit, he's getting closer to Jordan. I don't think he's past him yet, but he's certainly getting there and on his way to getting to MJ. But I think he still maybe has a little bit more to do in order to surpass him. But he's, and certainly still has the chance to do that, because it's incredible that in year 17 the guy's still playing at a MVP level, in the elite level. He's definitely a top 3 player. You could even make a case he's still the best player in the NBA at age 35, which is incredible that I'm saying that. I don't think we've seen someone play this well and at this high of a level this late in their career and not show any signs of slowing down and decline. I was a little worried a bit last year when he got injured and had those groin injuries, that that was maybe a sign that he was gonna start to decline and not be the LeBron that we've all known for. But he definitely bounced back this year and took care of business and showed that he's still got plenty of basketball left in the tank, and that he's still is one of the best players we've ever seen, without question. So definitely big ups to LeBron on winning his 4th championship and being one of the all-time greats already, when still has some years left to go.
Yeah, I think no doubt that LeBron James probably will never surpass the Jordan in their eyes, and a lot
even
of
if he gets 6 rings,
no matter what. I heard Stephen A. Smith said that shit. No matter what, and that's what I have a problem with. Is like, why is that not possible? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, 6 rings.
Well, I think
so. That's
everyone points to the 6 losses in the finals.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's
6 losses.
Big reason.
Well, listen, man. The guy, you guys know where I stand on that. I think he's the best human that's ever touched the basketball. You know what I'm saying? As far as like skill set, stats, all around play, I've never seen anybody that good. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not skill sets.
Skill set?
Definitely.
I mean, he's the top 5. He's top
Skills?
whatever in every. Yeah, he has.
No. Skill sets? No. Athleticism, yes.
I mean, he has tops in points, tops in assists, tops in rebounds. Like,
yeah,
I think he's
and that's,
probably one of the best
has
humans.
To do with he has athleticism.
Huh?
That all has to do with his athleticism.
Yeah,
How tall he is.
Is that bad?
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying.
Count
I'm
against
just saying.
him? Like, I don't understand.
I'm just saying. To me, it's not skill set.
So
it's not
big,
about skill set.
and he's so
I
good.
think partially
like,
it's skill set, but not
partially
fully.
skill set, but most skill player, nah.
No, I said
No, I
I think
wouldn't say
he's the
most skilled. No,
I'm not saying most skilled, but I think he's the best basketball player I've ever seen.
All around,
you know
all around basketball player, he's one of the best.
The guy
Yeah.
makes the finals 58% of the time he plays the game. That is fucking insane.
Should have won it more.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all.
That's
but,
true,
but we all
right.
know it doesn't take just one guy to win the whole thing.
It doesn't,
You know what I'm saying?
but-
So like.
It doesn't, but it still falls on him.
It
though.
still falls on him, and that points to his greatness. I think still, you know what I'm saying? It's like the guy lost finals where he led everybody in all statistical categories and still loses the finals. It's like I don't know, So like I don't really hold that against him. I think it has to do with
because no one cares about that.
I know
He doesn't care about that.
That's you guys, but I don't. 'Cause it's like,
He'll even say that himself.
I'd rather
leading in stats doesn't matter to me if I'm not getting the wins and I'm not winning.
Yes,
the shit.
but it still counts. We're still gonna talk about it at the end of the day. Where we're gonna talk about stats where he lands. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say that at the end of the day. Why do they record stats if it doesn't matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I
don't think he has the effect, the way Michael changed the way people looked at basketball, the way people play basketball. I don't think he's done that to me. I feel as though I would even say Steph Curry changed the way people play basketball more than LeBron did.
Oh, that's a fair point. Actually.
Yeah, with the threes, absolutely.
No, with the way he played in the threes,
Right, because you
obviously.
see a lot of players and a lot of teams playing, or at least trying to play like that. Ever
And I
since
think that
Steph
has
started playing
that has a
way.
lot to do with being the greatest of all time. Like MJ, the way MJ played basketball, the way he dominated his era, the two three-peats.
Right, I know.
And you know, no, that
Like
that
I
has a lot
said,
to
you
do
still
with
you
it,
still
bro.
have to have the right people around
it's a
you.
dominance.
You
It's a dominance that we haven't seen since then. We saw maybe a little bit with the Lakers, and maybe if Shaq stayed, maybe they could have done it.
Listen, they were dominant in the finals.
We just haven't. And that's important.
And that's important, right?
That's the most
But
dominant.
what other
Exactly.
player can you say you can put on any team and they're gonna at least hit the playoffs at any point in their career? You know what I'm saying? That could Michael have taken some of LeBron's team into the finals?
Absolutely.
I don't
No,
know.
I do.
I don't
think
know.
So.
With
I think so.
With
Michael in
Cleveland,
his prime?
with Boobie Gibson,
Yeah.
Yes.
MJ could have gone to the postseason
in this
with that.
in this era,
Gibson.
in this era,
Yes.
100%.
I don't think
That's
so.
currently
I
played
don't-
in the NBA, most certainly.
I don't
Most
think so.
definitely.
You crazy?
I really don't
Bro,
think so.
are you kidding me?
Michael
No.
would have
Bruh,
slapped.
what?
No
Michael
way.
would have slapped
What?
some sense in
Okay.
every other
Really?
players.
Oh my God!
Listen,
If
some
you
of-
thought
some of
Michael
the-
Jordan
some of
was
these
cooking in his
playoffs-
era, he would have been cooking
Listen.
even more.
So
That's
what
what I
does it
think.
say to some of these playoffs? Pippen led in more statistical categories than Michael.
So
Yeah,
What do you
and-
mean? So why do you guys
So
like
what
don't
is-
take these things into account? But it's like the finals and
it's all about winning the finals, right? So if
I don't think so.
Michael
To me,
knows
it's
how
not.
to play with his team and make sure that he wins the final, that's all that matters.
I think Michael played his role very well, and I think LeBron plays his role very well.
No doubt about
and
it.
Of
it
course.
takes more than just one guy.
No
And
doubt about it.
Everything has to be timely. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the greatest have lost too. You know what I mean? Like Brady's lost Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? So he's still the greatest. You know, but that's because there's
But
nobody
But
else.
he's one
There's
more
nobody
person
else.
The
lost.
percentage is greater.
Yeah.
Right. The
No, that
percentage-
matters.
And
Of
he
course.
makes it. He makes it. You know, more than a lot more other people do too. So it's like to me, like he's the best basketball player I've ever seen play. You know, and that's like personal. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
I haven't seen anybody else do the things that I've seen this dude do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I came to the United States in '97. I think what was Michael's last season, like '98?
with the Bulls.
So like
That was the last
you know what I'm saying? So
championship
it's
they
like
won, yeah.
with the Bulls.
you know, my whole life I've grown up and I've seen one dude make it to the championship over and over and over and over.
I mean,
Right,
but
made
that's,
it
and
8
over
straight years.
and
right.
over. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's different, and I think the conversation is gonna keep going, you know. And I think the more he wins, you know, the harder it's gonna go. And I think people are gonna still hold the fact that he lost 6 finals. You know, he can't lose no more finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He has to win. Like even if he makes it again, he can't lose it again. You know, or else that's gonna be held against him.
Yeah.
You know,
Again,
and I
the
think
7th
that's
finals
like,
loss, that would pretty much
that's like
knock
crazy.
him out
and one of the
that,
reasons why I want to give the Lakers a lot of credit too is because the person that the team that a lot of people chose to make it to the final, which was the Clippers, crapped their pants halfway through the postseason. You know, what I mean?
I saw
and,
people.
and I want to give the Lakers. I feel as though if you look at the postseason, a lot of teams that, like, if you take it, for example, the Celtics made it really far into the playoffs. The Miami Heat made it all the way to the finals in the playoff. And I think if it was a regular
season.
basketball
playoffs with
playoffs,
people traveling,
I don't
yeah.
think the Heat would have made it all the way to the finals. I don't think the Celtics would have been in the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors took them to 7 games in the bubble. I just don't think the Celtics would have won that game
In Toronto.
especially in Toronto. So
And Toronto had home court advantage.
yo,
right.
I'm telling you, I
just
don't think we
remembered
would have made
that.
so.
No, that's
So
a fair point.
if you take
That's
all that
fair.
in consideration, the Lakers made sure that they were the top team during the regular season, and they made sure they made it to the finals. If you take, for example, the Bucks, were supposed to make it to the final. Everybody picked the Bucks to make it to the final.
And then come out of these.
And
yeah,
they pooped their pants. But the Lakers made sure they keep that consistency. And LeBron James has a lot to do with it, obviously, because of his veteran leadership. And he's been there before. So, and his focus during these playoffs were unbelievable. Like, you could tell, like, I'm not losing this playoffs. Like, if a team has to be really good to take me out.
Yeah.
And he made that happen.
I mean, given the stuff you're saying, you know, I think we were talking to the homie John Laureus. Shout out to John Laureus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and one of his questions was that a legit championship for the Lakers? Like, to me, it sounds like you're saying like that was
it's a legit championship, man. For you to keep that consistency, make sure that your regular season matches your postseason. You know what I mean? If you, like I was saying, if you look at a team like the Bucks, you know what I mean? Like, a team like the Bucks shouldn't have been eliminated by the Heat. They wouldn't have been eliminated by the Heat, in my opinion, if there was a regular
playoff series. Right.
There's no way.
Yeah,
if that happened, we would have been it happened in the bubble and we still were shocked. If it happened in a regular, like, traveling setting, you know, home court advantage, we would have been, man.
And I'd be appalled by that.
We would have been like, whoa, yo, we gotta be.
That would have blown us away.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We would have said, yo, the Heat have definitely beaten the Celtics. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If that happened in the regular playoffs. So I just want to give I think it's people are going to have the conversation about this championship because they played in the bubble, but you got to give the guys credit for playing in that bubble environment. You needed to have a certain level of focus to not want to get out of that bubble. Like, I feel as though a team like the Bucks couldn't handle that pressure in the bubble. You know what I mean? They wanted. They wanted. I'm not saying they wanted to get out, but it wasn't hard for them to be like, yeah, I kind of want to go back home. You know what I mean? Like, I feel as though once you hit a certain point in a series, you're like, man, I'm gonna pack my bags.
For sure. That's human
I'm gonna go to the stadium.
At least give them credit for at least winning a game and at least competing and showing some heart after Giannis got hurt, because they could have easily even got.
Oh no, I'm not even
in that game, but those first 3 games were trash.
I'm not even focusing mainly on the Bucks. I'm just saying in general, like, any team, once you like hit a certain point, you're just like, yo, man, let's get out of this bubble.
Get out of
you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go play this game 6 or game 7, but I'm gonna pack my bags already. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I don't want to be here. So I feel as though in order to keep that like focus, you need a special team, a special veteran presence, special like
leadership, absolutely,
to win that championship. So to me, there's no asterisk next to it. It's gonna be the bubble championship, but there's not. It doesn't mean less than the other championships.
Yeah, man.
I definitely agree with that for sure. I think this championship, without question, is legit. You know, for the Lakers or whoever would have won the championship in the bubble. Like I said earlier, we talked about this earlier on a previous podcast as far as whether this championship would have asterisks on it, and I didn't, believe that was the case, and I still don't believe that you should have asterisks on it. I said that the team that was the most mentally tough and team was gonna win this championship, and the Lakers showed and proved that they were the most mentally tough teams, led by LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Because playing in that one environment and not being able to go anywhere and not really being able to see your families or your people for a long period of time until towards the end of the playoffs, where they did let the families come in and be with their players and watch the games, but they would still spend a good amount of time away from their family. So I know that was definitely extremely tough, and this, I think, was one of the toughest championships to win, and that's why I have more respect for the Lakers, that they were able to win this championship in the bubble, because it took a lot of it takes a lot of strength and a lot of mental toughness, and you have to be locked in and laser focused, as Tom Brady would say, and
Laser
and legit can't have that tunnel vision. So I think that's certainly what they've showed, and what and they were able to maintain that throughout pretty much the whole playoffs and even in the regular season. So I think by doing that, without question, it makes this championship legit. A championship's a championship to me. I don't ever question championship is whether it's legit or not, because it's hard to win a championship. It's hard to get to that point and to become a champion. So and it takes a lot in order to be able to get to that point. So this championship by far, or without question, is an actual championship to me. I don't question it at all, regardless of who won it.
Yeah, no, and I think that's, again, going to add to like LeBron's legacy, because of how hard it is to make it to a championship. You know what I'm saying? And one more point I wanted to make about that whole thing, because you guys said Michael would have taken, Cleveland to those championships, because he didn't take nobody to the championships until Rodman and I mean Pippen came through. So, because 9 years there was no championships, before he.
Then again, remember who he played, John. Who did he play in those series?
I'm just saying, you guys told me.
It was 9 years for him for LeBron too.
You guys told me
it took them the same amount of time
to win the first chip, but he made it there before. Before that, and he lost to the Spurs. Remember?
Yeah.
He was like a young pup. You know what I'm saying? So he's been making it.
Yeah, the one
regardless of who is there. Maybe he didn't win it. No, he didn't win it. But regardless, he's going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think definitely this championship is legit. Everybody had the same circumstances. Like, you have no excuses. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of shit going on about the Clippers. Talking about they didn't have chemistry and stuff like that. It's like, yo, when it's go time, the championship teams know it's fucking go time. There's no chemistry issues. People jealous of each other. Because I'm hearing a lot of shit coming out of that camp. Talking about Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly didn't like how Kawhi came to practices late or was late for planes because he had to fly from San Diego. It's like, yo, are you on the team or not? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're all grown men, and we all have our role. Accept your role and excel in it. And it takes that too for key players to excel in their roles. And that brings us to Rondo and somebody like Dwight Howard. Rondo took. I don't think, like you said, Vlad, without him, the Lakers don't win the championship. You know what I'm saying? By the way they looked when Rondo wasn't in there. When Caruso started, they did not look good.
Yeah.
Without him, they don't win. I agree with that 100%.
And there was a lot on LeBron to be able to run the offense and put that point forward as well as score as well.
Yes, and do everything, and then we have Dwight Howard, who, in my book, is a Hall of Famer. But he took a role, no doubt his career took like a dip in the last 5 years with moving into different teams every other year.
Yeah, being a journeyman.
Being a journeyman pretty much. He wasn't a fit on a lot of teams, and we saw that he changed his mindset this year where he accepted a role, tried to be a team guy first, and it paid off for him. You know what I'm saying? So that brings us to Rondo's and Dwight Howard's legacy. What do you think this championship does for both of them? Because Rondo, I think he's the only player who's won a chip with the Lakers and the Celtics now.
Yeah, I think it only helps their legacy. Rondo, I already mentioned it, 2 championships.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I think it's gonna make a good case for the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
I think he's like in the top statistically in like assists in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make a good case for the Hall of Fame, and I think a championship added to Dwight Howard's legacy is also gonna put him in the Hall of Fame.
I thought he was a Hall of Fame without it.
Yeah, but once you have that championship,
that solidifies, right. No, but I definitely agree with that. The only thing with Rondo, without question, I mean, we already know and said everything, we could say about Rondo and, his brilliance and, the excellence he's had in his career. Now being the only second player to win a championship with the Celtics and the Lakers in history. So without question, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. I think definitely now you can make a case with Dwight Howard. I thought before the championship, no, I was on the side. I don't think he was a Hall of Famer just because of how, how he had a huge downfall and, in terms of his performance and where he was in his career with Orlando. And then after he left Orlando, he never really became the same player and played at a high level, after he left the Magic. But I think now you could definitely make a case, for him to be a Hall of Famer after the way he played, this year with the Lakers and actually winning his first championship. So, definitely those are two, really good players at their roles and good at what they do. And they, showed it throughout the whole playoffs and we were big, both played big roles and a big part of the Lakers, championship team and their success this year without question. So, yeah, definitely shout out to those guys.
Yeah, I've always been a Rondo fan, man. To me, Rondo's a GOAT, man. From the first year he was here, with his crazy fakes, with this dude's hand's so big, man, with the fakes behind the back and going up, all the crazy passes that he makes, to get guys open, the way that he would bypass his own shots just to get another person a shot, sometimes I thought it was like overdone. I'm like, all right, just score the ball, bro.
Right.
Just put the ball in the basket.
Have a wide open lip.
Yeah, it's like you're right there.
Out to someone for a three.
Exactly, just to get the assist up. I like how him and Chris Paul got into it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Who punched Chris Paul in the face? Was that Rondo?
I think it was. I think right. They did it.
I thought Rondo spit in his face.
I think both of them shits happened.
Yeah, I think they was both spit and punch.
Yeah, that's great.
When they had that scuffle.
They had that scuffle.
That's when Nipsey was ready to get into it.
Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Marathon continues, baby.
Yes, sir. The marathon continues.
Just like these podcasts.
That was funny though. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like Rondo's a troublemaker.
Yo, he's a
pest.
He's a GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? In my book, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the best point guards I've ever seen. Along with Chris Paul. Don't get me wrong. Along with Chris Paul and Allen Iverson, some of the greatest I've ever seen. And of course, being a Celtic, I saw the guy all the time. So I definitely think
he was playoff Rondo with us for sure. That's how that playoff Rondo started.
Yeah, man.
It's still playoff Rondo with the way he played this year.
The way he played, man, and the things he had to say. He said he knew with a guy like LeBron, nobody was going to be able to beat them. In 4 games, you know what I'm saying? Just the way they think the game and see the game. And you can see those guys working together out there. And, they don't even have to communicate to do to know the right stuff to do, out there and bouncing off each other. So I don't know. Regular season wise, I don't think does he have the numbers? I don't think so. But, playoff wise, he definitely does.
As far as assist numbers, I think he has them for the regular
season. Regular season, right?
I think he's like number 28 or something like that.
That dude would have like
an assist.
20 assists a game. And not a
check
game,
it out.
But some games he'll have 20 assists.
Chris Paul is like top 5 or 6 in assists regular season. Rondo is top 5 or 6 in postseason stats with the assist.
That's when it matters the most.
Right. It's crazy. That's beautiful. I mean, good luck to both those guys. I like both those guys.
I like Dwight a little bit more. Before I didn't really like Dwight.
Dwight was annoying. Dwight was annoying.
I like him a little bit more now.
I like him a little bit more now. He was definitely annoying to me. The way he wouldn't fit in, the way his attitude, the shit that would come out about him. I didn't like the shit.
Yeah, it sucked.
And
Absolutely.
it seems like he's found kind of like his purpose. After that whole situation with the transvestite and stuff like that.
We don't got to talk about it. We don't got to.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, but I felt like, after that, he came out, he had like the mental health issue, about it, and like did the open letter stuff. And then ever since then, he's just been like he's like a new player, he accepts his role. Without him, I don't think the Lakers get to a lot of places, and he was one of those people that didn't want to go into the bubble, and he didn't want to let his team down, so he went. And I just heard he actually donated his whole playoff salary to some cause, So
oh, really? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So shout outs to him, man.
No, definitely big shout out.
He definitely. And then Rondo came back with that hand situation. All good guys. Similar to the question, right? John Lorius was thinking about Anthony Davis, right? Does that do anything for his career yet? Winning the championship, like that doesn't cement him as anything, does it? Or because I think we had a question was like last week where it was like, is he like one of the best big men of all time in Lakers history? I'm like, whoa.
Well, the question was, is he one of the best, or does he still have more work to do?
No,
obviously,
is he one of the best? Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I know that was last week's question. I think by your boy.
Yeah, my man's Eddie Rodriguez. Shout out to Eddie Rodriguez.
That was it. Yeah. But do you think that does anything? What does it mean for his career?
Nothing to me. I mean, it's a championship. Obviously, it's the beginning of his
legacy,
of his prime.
Prime? Beginning of his prime. Yeah.
Right.
And,
okay.
Let's see how much more he does, because he's one of the most skilled big men we've seen, right? Like he's just. I remember the first time I saw him in college. I was like, who is this guy? Like, he's like dominating everybody on the court. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And
he actually became the only player to win Olympics, the World FIBA, a championship, and a national championship. I think he won in high school too.
Championship.
Yeah, he won in high school too.
Yeah,
this guy's won in every single level.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow.
But he has more work to do. He has more. Like,
in the NBA.
I want to see him win maybe 2 more.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. Right.
Because he's still in his prime. He's still with the Lakers.
Right. He's still young.
Yeah. Let's see if he can keep that same mental toughness that he shows this year. It's great for him. It's like I said, it's the start of his prime, but that's all I think about it.
No, I think this is certainly, big for him now that he knows how to win a championship and what it takes to win a championship and be, a virtual part of a championship team without questions. Because the years of, his Pelicans time over there was definitely frustrating without question for him, because he felt like he played at a superstar level, but he just didn't have enough help around him, and wasn't able to get over the hump. So I know now the fact that he's gotten over the hump, not only got to the finals, but actually won the finals in his first appearance, this year. I think now we're going to see a much, better Anthony Davis, and I think the best is yet to come from. I'm expecting even, for him to be a better player the next few years without question, because like we said, he's only 27, 28 years old, so he's still young and still right in the prime of his career. So this is certainly going to be a start to what could be a dynasty for the Lakers if he continues to play at this level. And even he said it himself after the the game that like I'm just pretty much getting started, and that he wants to do this a few more times. Like this is the first of many times that he wants to accomplish winning a championship. So he definitely by far the best big man in the league and the best two-way player when it comes to being a big man. He dominates on both ends of the floor. I think when he's healthy and he's right, I don't think there's anyone in the league that can match up and guard with him with his skill set. So I think we're only gonna see him continue his dominance and continue to play at a high level moving forward, and continuing to show that he's one of the best big men that has played in this game.
Yeah, I think for him, what it means is now you got to be consistent.
Right.
Because I think we all know, you need a lot of Hall of Famers like that. That championship is what solidifies their spots, like you were saying about Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying? And I think right there, he got that chip. Now you just got to be consistent and get your numbers up. And I think, the sky's the limit, like Barry was saying. And it's funny how, after you win a chip, how much, how high of a level you play at, because you know what it takes now,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we see LeBron talk about it, playoff mode all the time, every year, let me go into playoff mode. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I think it's going to be harder for them to get back into this thing because, the Warriors are going to come back. The Clippers are still there.
Will be back next year,
we'll see what happens. But, there was another team playing Miami. It's too bad, they lost, and this is not about them. But what is next for them? Like, what do you think they have to do to actually be able to win the chip, if anything? Like, if they need one more piece, what do you think that would be?
I don't know what there are rumors out there that they're gonna go hard for Giannis.
Yeah.
And I think if that happens, we are all in trouble.
Definitely.
I don't know what's next for them, but I just want to congratulate them on a really good postseason, and Spoelstra doing such a great job getting his team ready. I think they got plagued by injuries in the finals. I think if they didn't get plagued by injuries, maybe it would have been a more entertaining final, especially those first two games. But they had a great regular season, and you got tip your cap to them beating the Celtics, beating the Bucks, one of the favorites to go to the finals, playing the way they did, bullying teams, really bullying the Celtics, bullying the Bucks. Like it's just it's just unbelievable. It was an unbelievable postseason run.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Miami Heat certainly had a great postseason. As far as what's next for them, I think they're like one big piece away from being actual like championship team and winning the finals. Like I think they need like another like big player and like another scorer, a guy that could create his own shot and then create his own offense, and that can also make plays as well, because they rely on Jimmy Butler to do that so much for them. And if he's not doing that, if he's not playing perfect basketball, and as we saw in the finals, then pretty much the team doesn't really have much of a chance to win. I mean, we saw them in other games. Other guys were stepping up, but in order to win a championship, I feel like you need another guy that can do that at a high level, like Jimmy Butler, and do it consistently.
You got to think through, like you got to think too that Tyler Hero, Robinson,
they're gonna get better.
All
right,
those guys,
all
those guys are gonna be better this next year. They're gonna gel more into the Spoelstra system. So I think Miami is here to stay for sure.
Right, and both of those guys were rookies this year,
Yeah,
I believe, too. And they're
so
already playing really well in the postseason and starting and playing big minutes. Right.
Kendrick Nunn, all those guys are gonna get better. So I think they're gonna be here. They're gonna the Celtics, the Heat, the Nets,
Bucks,
Raptors, all those 5 teams I think are gonna be dominating the East for the next,
for the next several years. Right.
I mean the Bucks if Giannis stay.
Yeah, depending where he goes and what they do, but I think the Bucks will at least try their best to get him, put more around him and then get a better team over there so he does be able to stay, because they can certainly not afford to lose Giannis. But I mean, getting back to the Heat, the thing, it's certainly they're on their way to becoming a championship team. They got a really good young core and young squad, and also good veteran leadership as well, which is important for a championship team. So I think the only way is up for them, but it'll be tough for them next year because it will certainly be a lot more competition in the East next year. It's going to be very tough and competitive.
And Philly too.
You're right. Philly with Doc Rivers, now that they have a coach that can get the best out of Ben Simmons and Embiid. But so I think with the Heat, they just have to continue to keep playing the way they're playing, and play a little bit better in those key moments, and not. And they'll learn from that, and I'm looking forward to seeing them continue to improve in the years to come as we move forward into next year.
Yeah, I think what's next for them is for them to just keep moving forward. That's really it. I think they're going to be in the picture for a long time. Like you said, Tyler Hero and Robinson, 2 really good players. We saw what they did in the postseason. I think they're going to gain some consistency to their games moving forward, and they're going to get stronger. I saw Robinson got bullied a lot, on defense, so I think he's going to learn from that, and he seems like a kid that's going to work in his game, and with a person around him like Jimmy Butler, I think it's going to be expected of them. Right. And like you were saying, Barry, I think the competition is going to be a lot deeper next year. I think this year was definitely an anomaly, for the Miami Heat. I think, things were set up pretty well for them. And the way their mindset worked and the way they were in it together helped propel them, to where they got. And like Vlad said, I don't think any other year that they would have made it there, because, home court advantage and all that stuff is a big factor in this league,
especially
with fans.
In playoff basketball,
we saw a lot of guys step up, and, and that's because of the lack of attendance, in the arena. A lot of guys were, able to focus just on the game, it's like open gym style. So they were able to succeed. So we'll see what happens, man. Good luck to them, though.
You guys don't think they need to add anything, Miami, in this offseason in order to get them over the hump and become a championship team? There's no pieces that they need to add?
I do think they need to add a bigger piece, like alongside Bam. He is another big, like a big body player, because he is of the, they play small ball.
Who's really the point guard?
Where?
I think it's Dragic, right?
Dragic.
No, Kendrick Nunn was starting pretty much the whole season until he got COVID-19, and then Dragic came in, and he just wasn't the same after that situation happened to him. He was slowly regaining form at the end there, in the finals, because he got the burn that he was supposed to get. But he's supposed to be their point guard, and he's actually pretty good. So. It's just going to be hard, but I think with their mindset, they're going to be successful. Any season. They have a formula over there, and that's working. They have a great coach, so I'm not really worried about them.
I do think if they get a playmaker, like a shot creator out there, I think that
they have a shot creator in Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I mean, but if he's getting better, then great. But if they can have somebody else out there helping Jimmy Butler,
I think
Like
that
another
I think
veteran.
yeah, I think that would be.
I think Hero's gonna take over.
If
come
he can
next
take
year,
over,
man.
then great.
Yeah, that'd
Like-
be great. Then they won't need to add anyone. But
I think next year.
I think what's that guy that used to play for the Celtics? Not Olenek. The other
Crawford.
one. Yeah. Who?
Jay Crowder.
Yeah, Jay Crowder.
Right, Crowder.
Jay
I
Crowder.
said Crawford.
Yeah, Crowder. I was like,
I had the Craw.
yeah, right. Because at least we had the beginning part.
I was
right,
like,
right.
what?
Crowder,
yeah.
Crawford again.
Crawford.
Yeah, Crowder.
Like,
My
don't
bad.
talk about Jordan
I
Crawford.
think if they can get a better player than Jay Crowder,
Yo, I like how he thought he was like the shit, and I'm like, bro, you're not that good.
Exactly. He was gassing himself
I mean,
up, definitely.
he helped them out.
He did,
But
but I'm
he
just like,
contributed.
Yeah, but I think if they can get somebody else other than him that's better than him, I think that will help them as well.
man, he was upset against us having to play Gordon Hayward. You know, you remember how he felt. You know, when we were
He was
cheering
in his
for Gordon.
feelings about that. Oh,
He was
yeah.
deep in his feelings, boy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you guys. We'll see what happens, man. You know, it's gonna be competitive next year. So that it's the end of the bubble, man. You know, the NBA did a great job. They had no COVID-19 cases, absolutely none. And I
That's
think
impressive. That's awesome.
they set an example for all the other leagues, and if they don't follow it, then that's really on their shit.
Right.
I think they took no expense to just make sure that the players were comfortable. They got what they needed. I think it was hard on the players, but at the same time they were accommodated. And I think if we went over there, we wouldn't have a problem because shoot, it's like being on a vacation for us. But these guys are so used to like all these crazy accommodations that that could have made it hard for them. But shout outs to all of them. Shout outs to the chefs over there that were making
definitely. Big shout outs.
4,000 meals a week. That's crazy.
Right, I know that's a lot.
That's crazy.
Shoot. So I didn't even realize there was
A
that
week?
much.
4,000 meals a week.
With all those
That sounds not.
players and all
You
those
sure
teams
was a
and
week?
staff, though. Yeah, I think it was about 4,000. Right.
Yeah.
No, that sounds about right. I
Yeah.
believe that.
Shout outs to them, man.
I thought it would be more. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it was too much.
4,000 is a lot,
Yeah,
man.
that
but
is a lot of
but,
meals. Right, that's a lot.
it was
of food.
4,000 meals a week, which is a lot, man. As somebody that's worked in the restaurant industry, so shout outs to the, restaurant industry people that did their thing over there in the bubble. Other things that's going on with the NBA, Daryl Morey stepped down, or aka got fired as the general manager of the Houston Rockets. So good luck to him. I think he put the NBA in some trouble at the beginning of the season.
With that situation with China, yep.
Taking the TV deal off the table for us. I think they reinstated.
They only did it for Houston. Like they weren't showing the Houston games.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. I thought it was the whole league.
I thought it was
they
like
were
the
showing-
whole league. They had like a blackout.
No, they were showing. They had the blackout for maybe for one day for the whole league, but they weren't showing Houston Rocket games.
Well, then I just saw a report that said that, they lifted the NBA ban and showed the finals game over there.
Right.
Nah.
I heard about
because
that too.
a lot of people were saying they didn't want the Houston Rockets to play the Lakers because they weren't showing Rockets game over there. They were showing the other games.
Oh, okay.
So they still got to watch them. I thought they lost that viewership from over there.
But I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Right.
Not because I don't. It's not that I don't like to get in politics. I don't mind talking politics, but that whole China thing and the way they treated Daryl Morey, I felt as though Daryl Morey was speaking against some of the.
He was right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And the NBA,
don't cut us off, please.
Huh?
No, I'm talking to the Chinese government. Don't cut us off. Like,
and the NBA, the way the NBA treated Daryl Morey, I don't know. That whole situation was a little murky to me. We'll never know exactly. I mean, I guess we know the league wanna make money and
right.
And
they
China,
need those TV deals,
and
man.
once you speak against the Chinese government, it's not.
It's a rap, buddy.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we'll
for
leave it at
sure.
that. We'll leave it at
Not a
that.
smart move at all. Right.
Yeah, man. And lastly, for the NBA, the Clippers hired Tyronn Lue, so their coaching search is over.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Tyronn Lue can take them over the hump because he was part of that team, and Chauncey Billups is going to be his top assistant over there. So shout outs to Big Shot Billups.
Yes,
baby.
yes.
You
I'm
know,
getting that coaching gig.
I love that. You know,
No, me
'cause
too. No, I like that. I like
think-
move as well.
I like Tyronn getting the job.
Right.
I'll be interested to see how well he handles that team.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a great team, so he has a great team in his hand, and hopefully they make it to the finals next year, because that's that talented of a team. That's where they should be.
Yeah, you do realize
absolutely.
that PG and Kawhi is coming up in free agency, and they don't have a first round pick until 2027. So
Oh, jeez. Oh,
good
my
luck.
God.
I heard like
Oh, boy.
the next time the Rockets will select in the first round.
You mean the Clippers?
The Clippers.
No, the Clippers. I keep messing that up because we were talking about Daryl Morey. The next time they pick in the first round, that player right now is currently in 6th grade.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I know, that's insane.
That's
That's
insane.
unreal. Wow.
You know, if you think about it like that. But
Right, I wouldn't have thought about it like that, but yeah, that's pretty wild to think about it. Like, damn, they really without a first round pick to them, but I'm sure they'll have to make a trade, you know, make some trades to get a first round pick, you know, at some point, because geez, being without a first round pick for what, another 7 years, like.
that's crazy, right?
Right. That's, I don't remember any franchise ever doing that and giving away draft picks like that.
Right. Yeah, man. But you know, that's it. You know, for the NBA, you know, we'll
shout
try
out
to keep
to Tyronn Lue. Congrats on
Right.
that coaching gig, as well as big shout out Billups. So I like that hire, and I think he's gonna do well and get the best out of them, particularly since he coached LeBron and did a good job of that. So I think, you know, he has a challenge to be able to coach up Kawhi and PG, but I think he'll be up to the challenge, because I think he still has a good rapport with those guys, being an assistant coach. But an assistant to head coach is different, as we know. So we'll see how it goes with with those guys next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move into the NFL, man. So Patriots COVID-19 status. Sony Michel, Shaq Mason, and Derek Rivers were put on the COVID list or whatever.
19 reserve
That
list,
doesn't
yeah.
mean that they actually have COVID-19. It means that they were in contact with James Ferentz, who went down with the virus recently and wasn't able to play. The Jacksonville Jaguars placed 13 players and 12 practice squad on the COVID-19 list. That's like, God
I
damn.
think
That's a
that
lot.
happens this morning on Monday.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's why I'm like, wait,
That's pretty
Wow.
insane.
That literally
Wow.
just happened.
they just played a
And
game.
they played yesterday the Lions. Wow. And
Holy
right after
crap.
that game, like, geez. Man,
Yeah.
That's a lot of guys for one day on the COVID list.
That is crazy. Dan Quinn and Bill O'Brien got fired from Atlanta, and
well, Dan Quinn got
Dan
fired.
Quinn got
from
fired from Atlanta, and then
Brian-
O'Brien got fired from Houston.
From Houston, yeah.
So that was
And I heard
crazy.
that the Detroit Lions coach Matt Patricia was playing for his job yesterday. If he had not beaten the Jacksonville Jaguars, he would have gotten fired.
Oh wow!
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I did not hear that. I knew he was on the hot seat this year, but I didn't know it's already that hot for him.
I mean, I think that would have been their 4th loss or something.
In a row? Right.
Something like that. And
That's crazy, man. And now they're probably gonna have to quarantine or whatever, not be in the facilities for the next some odd
For a
days.
couple of days or
And
whatever.
you know, one thing I saw yesterday, players are still like, you know, meeting up after the games and like dapping each other up and shit. Like, should the league ban that stuff?
the league really should.
Like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
exactly.
Like,
Because they
even-
shouldn't be doing that, right? That's crazy.
Even with the quarterback of the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes,
yes.
he's sleeping in a different room from his wife because of You know, when he got in contact with
Gilmore.
They dabbed each other up.
Yeah, so you know,
Listen, man.
Well, because his wife's pregnant as
yeah,
well.
the league is functioning right now, and they're making through it. They're pushing through some of the games, but it's sloppy, man. Sloppy.
Oh yeah,
man.
It's a mess. It's
Listen,
a
man,
hot,
if I'm a
hot
player-
mess and a nightmare.
If I'm a player, I don't need to say hi like that after the game, bro. Like, we're done. I'm out.
I'm to the locker room.
Where's
But you
my
know,
mask, man?
It's what do you call that? It's
Sportsmanship.
not just sportsmanship, but you've been doing this your whole life.
No, I get it.
It's a ritual.
I'm not
It's
saying I
like-
don't
It's
get
like
it.
a routine, right?
Yeah, it's a
right,
routine,
right,
you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, what up, man? I haven't seen you in a
Yeah.
while.
Oh, how
Yo,
you been? Right,
you shouldn't have pushed me that way, but you know what I mean. So you just, it just happens. But I think the league eventually they might have to like squash.
Yo, I mean, first of all, I'll FaceTime you after the game. Like, I'm gonna holler at you. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need.
Instead
Like,
of giving you dabs, I'll just hit you up.
You know what I mean?
Exactly on your phone, and we'll chop it up after the game.
you know, I'll pull a LeBron. 10 seconds left. I'm going to the locker room.
That was fucked up, by the way.
That was poor sportsmanship.
Right. That was pretty messed up.
But I can understand why he was upset.
No, definitely, he had a good reason to be that.
You know,
no doubt.
But let's move on to the Patriots. They played the Broncos yesterday, and the recap of that, they lost to the Broncos 18-10, was it?
12.
To 12.
Yeah.
18-12. And, you know, it looked like the Patriots only practiced twice for the last 14 days out there.
Yeah.
You know, the Patriots are now under 500 for the first time since 2002. And now we got the Bills winning the division. So
They're leading the division, right?
we watched the game together yesterday, and that was great.
Sunday.
You know,
Yeah,
Sunday.
that was really cool.
You know, and you know, shout outs to Vlad because that was the boy's birthday. You know, we we're
Yes,
celebrating.
happy birthday.
You know what I mean?
Vlad.
I mean, I feel like I know what you guys think about the game already, but let's talk about it, man. How, you know, now that you had some time to sleep on it, what'd you think? What'd you see?
I mean, it looked like a team that hadn't practiced in 14 days. You know what I mean? That team, a team that has been together a while. The quarterback of that team was away for a while. I think that showed in the game plan. The game plan wasn't a throwing game plan, especially in the beginning of the game. They were running the ball a lot. I think we had maybe one or two passes past 20 yards in the first half. It's just, you know, and Cam Newton had that turnover early in the game. The Pats defense was doing a great job at keeping Denver from entering the end zone, and they did a great job at that all game. Which is why they only scored 18 points. It was 6 field goals. So that was a great job by the Pats defense. The Pats defense had no, what do you call that? They didn't skip a bit. You know what I mean? The defense been playing well all year. Played well against the Chiefs. Played well against the Broncos right there. But the offense needed work. I mean, we need help on the offense. I mean, the quarterback was away for 14 days, like I said. So that had a lot to that had a lot to do with it. But man, we need help, and also the injuries are adding up. You know what I mean? Shaq Mason not being there.
Dave Andrews not
Dave
being there.
Andrews.
Illuminor getting injured.
Illuminor getting injured halfway through the game. So man, I was telling you guys yesterday while we were watching the game, like Sunday when we were watching the game, that you know, I feel like a Cleveland Brown fans right now.
Oh my God, yo!
Oh Lord! Oh boy!
3 games.
Now with the Cleveland
Good
Browns, all of a
Lord.
sudden.
No, I'm not saying we're the Cleveland Browns. I said I feel like a Cleveland Brown fan because I'm watching the game and I'm like, man, I'm just watching to watch. I don't know if we can win this game. Even though it's a winnable game, I was like, I don't even know if we can win because
You're not sure. You're not confident, right?
Yeah, like that confidence I usually have watching a Patriots game. I just didn't have it yesterday. That looks sloppy.
Just to clarify, he meant Cleveland Brown of yesteryear, not this year.
Oh yeah, not this year. This year's a
pretty
little bit better. Yeah,
They got smacked yesterday.
They got smacked yesterday.
They got that ass whooped
on
yesterday.
Sunday.
They've been better in general.
Yeah, they've been better.
Right. They're 4-2, so they're still playing well.
Right. I think they've taken the ball away from Baker a little bit and started running, so they started doing well. But
finally, they figured that out.
Yeah. But yesterday he had the throw and it didn't look good. But yeah, man,
makes sense, right? Yeah.
Back to the Patriots and Broncos recap. What'd you think?
Yeah, this was a trash and terrible game by the Patriots. They didn't play well at all. Especially from an offensive standpoint, they just looked rusty and looked like a team that just was a mess out there. That they didn't execute at all at the level that they needed to execute at. Guys were turning the ball over left and right and fumbling the football. It's like they forgot how to hold on to a football and take a hit. Like the basic fundamentals that they should have, they didn't have, and they didn't execute that yesterday. That was absolutely disastrous and nightmare game for him. One of the worst offensive performance we've seen under the Bill Belichick era. Like Cam looked like shit, but I mean, he just came off of quarantine and off the COVID list, so I think we kind of should expected that it was at least going to take him a game or two to be able to get his rhythm back and shake off the rust and get used to playing again, since he only had one practice on Thursday this week. And yeah, the weapons on offense, the receivers and tight ends, they were straight trash yesterday. Like waste management, that was god awful. Like
waste management.
Yeah, you like that one, Vlad? Yeah, waste management for you. So. Yeah, N'Keal Harry was a non-factor. I don't think he had any catches yesterday. I don't even think he played yesterday. Y'all seen him play yesterday? N'Keal Harry, y'all seen him on the field?
I saw him fall down.
I don't think I seen him that. Oh, you seen that?
Yeah, he fell down when we
that 4th and 10.
We needed that one catch. He fell down.
Right. And that was, I think, the only play that I saw him yesterday. Because other than that, I don't think I saw him.
So all y'all people trying to blame Brady. That guy doesn't look good.
Yeah, he's looking like a bust and looking like he's trash. Like, I'm sorry,
I think him is trying.
He's trying to work with the guy. Yeah, but it's just clearly not working out right. They need to, they need more from the receivers, and they need to add some weapons and playmakers to this offense, because what they got now it's not gonna get them anywhere. It's not good enough to win the division and make the playoffs. Point blank period. Even Jules didn't look good yesterday. But I mean. No one really did from an offensive standpoint. The defense played well and did a good job of bend but don't break, which can be frustrating to watch. But at least they did their job and didn't let end up any touchdowns and and only gave up those field goals that. The Broncos had, but I mean, he did a good job at making those field goals. He was 6 out of 6 and I think made like a 54-yarder. So that's pretty impressive. But I think the defense still could have played a little bit better. There was some things that they could have done better. I feel like they could have gotten more pressure on Drew Lock. He had quite a bit of time to throw the ball. I feel like the coverage was good at times, but there were other plays that the coverage wasn't as good, and they let up some, a few big plays and conversions that, that were pretty big and went to, gave Denver the momentum they needed, and Yeah, and certainly I think that this was a game. I don't know why we overlooked it and thought that the Patriots were going to win this and that they were big favorites, but I think we kind of should have expected this performance by them, especially with what has transpired with this team the last couple of weeks since the Kansas City Chiefs game. So it sucks they were 2-3 and that they're under 500 right now. But hopefully once they start, getting guys back and getting healthy, I think they should be getting Dave Andrews back this week against the 49ers. So that would help, as well as I think the linebacker Josh Uche. So, those are two guys that will definitely, help the Patriots, tremendously. But they still do need to play better, and they're gonna need to start looking to make moves and get more for this offense, because Cam Newton doesn't really have anything to work with and anybody to throw to. These guys can't get separation from a parked car. Like, like that's how trash our receivers got, guys. It is extremely frustrating to watch these receivers not being able to get any kind of separation and get open at all, and to have Cam Newton sit in the pocket and have to scramble and run for his life, and they still, even in spite of that, cannot get open. like it's ridiculous how these guys can be man coverage. And I noticed Denver played a lot of man coverage, and they blitzed a lot because they knew that if we blitz, put some pressure on Cam Newton and play man coverage on these receivers and get physical with them, these guys aren't going to be able to get open, and that's exactly what happened. And then that's how I really felt, watching the game, and that was the frustrating part of that game that we saw yesterday. So that's something that the Patriots are going to have to, drastically improve on, and they really need a good week of practice coming up to prepare for this 49ers game, because if you think the Denver defense is good, the 49ers defense is even better. So
Jimmy G.
Right, and Jimmy G and those guys they have on offense played pretty well last night as well. So the Patriots better get it together quickly, because they could be in some trouble if they don't win this game next week and have to go 2-4 and 2 games under 500. So they got a lot to work on, and they need to get back to the drawing board and back to work on the practice field ASAP. And that was pretty transparent from what we saw in the game on Sunday.
Couldn't get separation from a parked car.
That was awesome.
That's like a highlight. Oh man, that just came to me right now. I know I'm even impressed that I came up with that. With that statement.
Analogy.
For real.
We got the title of this episode.
Right. Oh yes, facts.
That's
yes,
funny.
Definitely.
No, Patriots definitely look like they hadn't practiced. They look like they practiced twice in 14 days. I don't know what Cam Newton did in 14 days, because he couldn't have done anything.
I mean,
he was in quarantine.
He was gonna throw to himself.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo. And it just showed, because he was so indecisive yesterday, man. Like,
absolutely.
He took so long to throw the ball. You saw him take many sacks that he normally wouldn't take, because he has his capability and stuff like that. He had a really good run. I remember I said, I can't wait for Cam to rip a 40-yarder, his first 40-yarder, and he ripped off like a 37-yarder yesterday. I thought he was going to go into the house.
That was a good play, right? He could have housed that.
Yeah, he had a few turnovers, one that wasn't his fault with Ryan Izzo getting hit and fumbling the ball. Right as soon as we were marching down the field, that drive looked good until that fumble.
They were driving, right?
And even then, with 3 minutes left, they still had a chance to win the game. I think yesterday's game was definitely a player loss. That wasn't that there was nothing the coaches could have done yesterday
Right. You can't
for us
blame
to
that
win
on
that game,
Belichick,
man. You
right.
know, I think they had a really good game plan. You know, and I think we forget that the defense still has some really good veterans on it. You know, with McCourty, Gilmore, Jackson, Jones back there. You know, their communications is key. And the offense, it's patchwork. You know, we got Julian Edelman, who's the mainstay, but then we have Cam Newton, who's a new guy. And then we have N'Keal Harry, who's second year. Demir Bird, who knew that guy until he came here, because I didn't. You know, it's
he
like...
played with the Cardinals, but you're right. No one really knew
Exactly.
even with the Cardinals, yeah.
And then we got number 19 from the practice squad.
We have Isaiah Zuber.
Yeah.
Who is that? You know,
We just promoted him from
Exactly.
the practice
Number
squad.
19 from the practice squad.
exactly.
Right,
So-
practice squad player. Right, that's sad. We're playing practice squad players at receiver.
And also, I think the disappointment for me is all these tight ends that we drafted.
Asiasi, Key, they haven't done shit.
I was looking
They're not playing them.
I was looking at
Asiasi's playing.
I was looking at highlights after we drafted, and I was excited. But
too.
I haven't seen anything from. They're not playing them often.
They're not.
Asiasi maybe
They're not
played a
getting
couple
the reps and the
games,
snaps they
but
need to be getting.
why is that?
I think tight ends is usually like a hard position
Transition?
to like break in. You know, it usually takes them a year. You know, even Rob Gronkowski, he wasn't like killing it his first year either. You know?
He wasn't
halfway through his rookie year. He started.
Yeah.
He wasn't
From the
killing,
corner.
but he was playing.
He was
I'm just
contributing.
saying, I'm
That's
just
First
saying.
game, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, but you got to take into
But that was like halfway through the season.
you got to take into
No,
account
first
like
game,
these,
First game he
touchdown,
played?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Listen,
But Wabunkoski
gotta
is a
take
different breed.
into
Facts.
account that these rookies didn't have a rookie mini camp.
Yeah.
They didn't have a regular mini camp. They
You're
didn't
right,
have a
right,
mini
right.
camp. They didn't have a preseason. They haven't had nothing.
And also, they don't have a quarterback that's been there for 15 years.
There you go.
So
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
all that plays into it.
So the offense
Those
is
are
like
factors,
pretty
yeah.
much you're rolling out a brand new offense, and you know if you're not practicing, that's what it's gonna look like.
That's exactly
And even
right.
then, they even our running back, like our starting running back, is in the second year, just came off an injury. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of factors on offense that is the reason why we couldn't do it.
The offensive
but
line,
even then,
the depleted offensive line.
right, your top
no,
center's
absolutely.
out.
Your top guard is out.
you got
You
Your
rookies
tackle,
on the
your tackle
offensive line.
your tackle got injured halfway through the game.
Yeah,
you know.
Right.
You got rookies manning the other spots. It's a big deal. And then on defense as well, man, we don't have anybody on the defensive line.
We don't, but you're right, and that's what Barry was alluding to earlier.
That's
about,
why they ripped off so many runs, man.
about Drew Luck. We gotta get an impression on Drew Luck.
Right.
We couldn't stop the run either.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. That defensive line in front seven.
We have a
they
great-
didn't play well, but you're right, they're going through injuries as well.
We have a great red zone defense, but
Right.
but still, I mean, we
Listen, you need to score points in this league.
yeah.
Right,
All right?
absolutely.
That's what it comes down to. And, when
12
your
points.
quarterback is
12
out.
points is not gonna win you many games.
When your
Right,
quarterback
right.
is out
Facts.
and has been on the team for maybe 2 months, those things factor in. And even then, it looked like he was trying, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like anybody was like trying to give up, At one point I thought his body language, you could fix that a little bit, but I understood him because I'd be frustrated
Right,
as
it was
hell
out
too.
of frustration.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
like-
it's different. Brady would have been yelling.
Oh my God.
But
You were cussing those guys.
But
out.
Cam,
Oh, yeah.
Cam is just, he's a little like, all right, I'm a little down. But
even after the
he
game,
stepped it back up,
Yeah, even after the game, Cam still refused to like say anything about his pass catchers. Hey, he's a team player, man, and I think if they practice a little more, I think they'll be fine. I don't think
agree.
it's
They
the end
just
of the
need a
world.
full week of practice, yeah.
I don't think we can hold that against the team, against the coaches, even against the players, man. You can't play football through Zoom meetings. It's just not gonna happen.
I agree.
And a lot of people were talking about Le'Veon Bell, who signed with the Chiefs over the week. And they talking about, should the Patriots have traded for Le'Veon Bell? And in my opinion, I don't know. It's like now we got a new guy we got to bring into the offense too, and I think it's really redundant with the players that we do have. I don't think we have bad running backs like that. If you look at the year, we've been running the ball all year.
We've been running it well with the exception of yesterday, but could have definitely helped.
I think yesterday
adding another running back or another playmaker and weapon that can make plays both in the running game and in the passing game, that and adding more talent to that offense, because that's what they're lacking is talent.
I think yesterday,
from the skill positions.
The fact that they knew Cam Newton was out, they pretty much stacked the box and wanted Cam Newton to throw in. We saw chemistry issues. And I think the Broncos definitely knew that, coming into the game. These guys haven't practiced, so how can they be on the same page? So we're going to stack the box, which is take away what they actually do really well, with little practice. You don't have to do too much to figure out the run game. And we saw what happened.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. And they were very aggressive in their defensive play calling, too, and the Patriots had, trouble. The offense had trouble with that as well.
Yeah, but
with all those blitzes, they weren't able to pick up on. They picked on them like 1 or 2 times, but for the most part, they were ineffective against the Patriots offense.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no worries, no problem.
We're already at an hour and 30. We gotta expedite.
Word sounds good.
We're almost done with the NFL.
So we're gonna move from that.
Oh, we're gonna do a quick preview of the Patriots game. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, with that said, we do have the 49ers coming in, which they look very good last
over there,
night.
or they coming to town?
They're coming to town. They're coming to town, which is good for us because we've been doing too much of the 2 plane stuff. So they can come over here now.
Right. I know it's nice to have another home game.
I might go to that game.
Yeah, good luck.
If they have any fans, exactly. Best of luck with
Imagine
that.
y'all on TV, I see yo.
We'll see the one guy getting arrested. The one guy getting arrested. We got fan in the stand, folks. Fan in the stand. This guy's getting arrested, you guys.
Oh, boy.
Who would have thought we would be in a situation where we can't go in?
We can't go into Gillette at all, man.
Right.
It's just a bizarre year.
Bizarre, odd year. Very, very awkward year.
Yeah, man.
Question.
But the 49ers are coming to town, and they come with one of our old quarterbacks, Jimmy Garoppolo, who was injured but now is back and didn't look too bad last night. What do you guys think about that game? What do you see? What are you looking for?
Hopefully we get to practice this week. Hopefully we have no COVID-19 positive tests, and we get to practice this week, and we can come up with a game plan that Cam Newton can practice with the guys and get better and put in the extra work that they need to get the offense better. But like Barry was saying earlier, the 49ers defense is a way better defense than the Broncos defense. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. I think they have a pass rush unlike any other pass rush in the NFL. So I think that's going to be problematic for us. And the offense is good. Jimmy G is playing. I mean, he got benched one of those games.
He struggled and got benched.
But I don't
better last night against the Rams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna. I mean, we have a good defense, but it's not a great defense. So I think he's gonna be able to score points against our defense, and I think we're gonna have to score points against them to win this game. So we cannot have what happened on Sunday for sure. I mean, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see Jimmy G back and see. Belichick knows him well, you know what I mean?
I'm sure he knows us well too, so being that good chess match.
True. But I'm going to give Belichick the nod on that one.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. No, definitely.
So hopefully we'll have a great game plan against him, but players win the game, so the players have to go out there and score points.
Yeah, I'm definitely with that. They obviously need to play better, and the execution, has to be better, especially against a team that's as good as the 49ers, with, their defense and their ability to be able to, you rush the passer and stop the run as well, and cover. So I think, they're definitely offense is going to have to play, much better. You're right, if they do have a full week of practice and don't go through, any more situations that they have in the couple of past weeks, that should help. But, they're definitely going to have to, play really well. And Cam's going to have to play, really well, in terms of the way he, throws, the ball and, and running. He's going to have to, make, good decisions, and and throw the ball more, accurately than what he did yesterday. And, and the rest of the, guys are going to have to step up and, contribute and, and do their jobs and make plays when they get their opportunities. The thing, on the defensive side for the Patriots, they're going to, the Niners, they like to run the football out. They got a very good running game. They got two good tight ends that can block, especially one in George Kittle, who's one of the best tight ends in the game by far, and he's a good receiver as well. So we're gonna need to stop him because he's one of their better playmakers. And they're also going to need to stop Deebo Samuels as well. He just came back and he played well yesterday. And he's not only he's a receiver, but he contributes both in the passing game and in the running game. So that's another key guy they're going to have to be able to to stop. So this will be a tough game in a close game for sure. I'm not sure.
Is it Sanu over there too?
He just got released. He got cut already.
Oh wow!
I know that was fast.
That guy sucks.
Yeah, trash. Straight. That guy's waste management. Yeah.
Well, I think he's just older now, and he's lost a step.
Oh yeah. I think he's lost a few steps.
Yeah.
I think the steps an understatement, to say the least. But getting back to this game, I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides of the ball on the Patriots. They definitely, them, having a good game plan and being able to execute that game plan is going to be a big thing, and a thing that they're going to need to, be able to do well and at a high level against a very good team and the 49ers were the runner-ups in the Super Bowl last year. It sucks because I'm not sure if we're gonna win this game or not. But I want to see them play better and play tougher as well, because they're playing a really tough physical team in the 49ers, and they're gonna have to match their toughness and their physicality if they're gonna have any chance of winning this game coming up on this Sunday.
Yeah, Vlad, you had a long night?
Me yawning?
Yeah. I'm like, yo, this guy over here.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was celebrating his birthday yesterday.
No, actually, he slept last night. I don't know.
Living that
you
big
got a
money
good night's sleep?
lifestyle.
No, I had a good night.
Yesterday, right? Facts.
It was that V money lifestyle last night.
Yeah, V money.
Nah, he went somewhere else after we left.
Had a little nightcap.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys, man. I think the 49ers still have ingredients to, go back to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. They've lost a couple guys, due to injury. I think they lost Joey Bosa, but, what's his name? Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
But, their defense is still nothing to mess with.
It's still playing well, yeah.
And like you said, with, what's the McKinnon? He's not a bad running back, and we saw what Philip Lindsay did to us yesterday. Going over 100. So
and they got up Mozart back too as well.
They run the ball,
also a really good running back.
And then Deebo with his run after the catch ability. He's dangerous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the defense has its hand cut out for them again. So we'll see how that goes, man. But I don't think I need to go too far into it because you guys, broke it down pretty well. This is a game we can win or lose. I don't think this is a game where I can say, yo, we're about to beat this team. If you were watching the Broncos, the Patriots have a lot of stuff to fix and work on. come this week, and they need to show up on a lot of stuff. We need the quarterback to be more comfortable. I can assure you, this team's not gonna kick 6 field goals or whatever it was yesterday. Throughout the whole game, they're gonna get in the end zone, especially with top end tight end Kittle, like Barry was saying. You saw what he did yesterday.
Yeah, he balled yesterday.
Yeah, he could take it to the house.
Definitely. He makes plays. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And he's a tough guy. So we're gonna have a rookie and a second-year guy on him. So we know how to face tight ends.
Right,
we know how to face tight ends, but the other people that are gonna be opened up due to it is. They can hurt us as well. So, Patriots need a good week of practice, man, to actually be able to do anything here. But yeah, man, that's it for the NFL. Let's move into the NHL. There's not much going on over here. Matt Grzelcyk, he signed a 4-year deal with the Bruins again to return $14.3 million. So, nothing really changed on that front. So the team doesn't really change. It's not like they just got, much better, you know what I'm saying? So it's just status quo for that right there, So, I mean, $14.3 million is nothing to mess with. I'd take that. On to baseball.
That's a solid deal. So, yeah, good luck to him.
MLB, we got a World Series, fellas, right? We got a World Series opponents. So ALCS was taken by the Rays. Yep. And the NLCS was taken by the Dodgers last night. So we're gonna see the Dodgers and Tampa Bay Rays. I didn't think that the Rays would be here, but I expected the Dodgers to be here, and they actually pulled it out yesterday. It looked
Game 7.
Yeah, Game 7. It looked pretty bleak for them. Throughout the series, because they went
They were down 3-1.
Exactly.
The Dodgers, right. Atlanta had a 3-1 lead, and the Dodgers won 3 straight.
Exactly.
But I'm not too surprised about Tampa, because Tampa actually had the best record in the American League and were a really good team. They won
this year.
3 games this year, right? They've played well. So
I'm thinking about past years, damn, the Rays. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I know it's crazy that they're really going to the World Series for the first time in 12 years. They haven't been there since 2008, but. No, they were a really good team this year. That was actually a crazy series because they won the first 3 and dominated and played really
next
well.
3.
Exactly right. The Nationals came back and
that was exciting
all the way to force to Game 7, and then they just barely hung on and then found a way to win that series and get past the Astros and move on to the World Series.
I didn't think they were gonna win Game 7. No, after the Astros,
I thought the Astros would win that too.
After the Astros won 3 games in a row, I was like, yeah, that's it. I didn't, you know what I mean?
No, I was thinking that too, right?
But the
I thought they would have lost.
The championship series have been really good. Really good on both sides. I mean, we've criticized baseball on the show
all year
many times,
and they're coming through in the last stage.
Yeah, they're coming through.
Better late than never. Yeah.
October baseball is nothing like it.
Yeah,
it is. For sure. Absolutely, it was exciting, and there was some pretty awesome games to watch. And even if you're not a big, baseball fan, if you like sports and you like watching good competition and guys compete at the highest level, you definitely enjoyed and appreciate what we saw in the MLB this week. And it was also nice to see fans. They actually had fans in the stadium for their games, because they didn't have them earlier in the playoffs, but for the championship series, they were allowed.
I didn't see any fans for the Astros games.
They were there.
They were there?
They were there. Yeah. They allowed fans for both the series. Yeah, I know. There weren't too many of them.
I saw them for the Atlanta series, but maybe I just missed it. But
no, I think we can all agree. The postseason has been good for baseball. I think we all wrote them off pretty much all year on this podcast. We were not tuning into games. We were just catching the highlights and catching the sped up games and stuff like that to make sure we watch what's going on. But I can say the postseason has been a success for them, and congratulations to them because they're giving their fans something to be excited about. And the play has been top notch, and it's been dramatic, and it's been at a high level. There's been a lot of things going on, and I hope we get a really good World Series too. I'm gonna be tuning in.
Yeah, who do you guys got in the World Series?
I got the Dodgers.
I got the Dodgers.
I'm gonna go Tampa.
All right.
I'm gonna be that guy, and
I'm going with the Dodgers just because of Mookie. Because I thought we should have paid him.
Right, and you want to see him win another?
But
ring?
he didn't want to stay. He didn't want to be in Boston.
Why not?
Even if you paid him, he would have left.
Yeah.
You think so? You don't think he was happy here?
No, I just don't think he likes Boston.
You think if we gave him a Mike Trout contract, he wouldn't have stayed?
I don't think he likes Boston.
Well, who does? Like what pro player wants to be here? Like it's cold as shit. When during the season,
pro guys that wanted to be here and not have won championships here. But I hear what you're saying.
Like a Paul Pierce who's like on everything here. Like a David Ortiz was like a god here. But other than that, guys
right,
are like
Tom Brady until what we saw last year. Right,
guys want to go to destinations. They want to go to Miami. They want to go to California.
That's why we don't have KD.
They want to go to Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Right, especially when you're young and in the prime of your career. Exactly.
They want to go where the excitement's at. They want to go to New York, big markets, Dallas. They want to go to places like that. But I'm rooting for them just because of Mookie. And I really like Mookie on our team. And I like. He
had a really good series. Y'all saw the catches he made, and unbelievable catches.
I mean,
they kept replaying them the whole game. For real. Plus, every other replay was Mookie's catch.
Hey,
right? No, for real. That's how it felt like. But those catches were phenomenal, and and pretty awesome catches for sure. But you're right. That's crazy. They were replaying them mad times over and over again. But no, definitely shout out to Mookie and the Dodgers, and good luck to them in the World Series. Even though I got the Rays, but I think it'll be a good and exciting World Series to watch, and I'm looking forward to it. And that game 1 starts on a Tuesday night, I believe, at 8:15. This is our first pitch, so. I'll definitely be tuning into that.
That's awesome, man. And I like Dave Roberts, too. I think he...
he's a legend in Boston. He's the one that had that steal, right?
Yeah, but I think he's a little soft, but I like him.
Yeah, his managing can be questionable at times, right? And that's why I think they fell short in the previous... postseasons, particularly the last couple where they've made the World Series and lost. I think he's definitely made some decisions that were, head scratchers. But I mean, hopefully they, this is their year, and for him, his case, hopefully they get it done this year. Because if they don't, I don't see how he can still be, the manager for the Dodgers if they don't win the series this year. And another thing real quick is that the Dodgers, the thing that I'm still questioning them is they always choke in the World Series or in the playoffs, particularly Clayton Kershaw. They always whenever they get to the big game and the big moment, and the pressure's on them, they always fold under pressure and not really play as well as they should, and come up short and on the losing end. So I mean, hopefully they can change that this year and get over the hump and win the World Series. So who knows, if that's gonna happen or not, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man, for sure. And then that's it for MLB. And then we got soccer with Vlad, man. Vlad, what's going on in
Yes, sir. I mean, nothing too crazy, but some updates on some of the top leagues around the world. Everton is surprised. There's a lot of surprising teams at the top of the leagues around the world, so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Everton is on top of the Premier League, AC Milan on top of Serie A, Lille on top of League One, RB Leipzig on top of Bundesliga, Real Sociedad on top of La Liga. I don't know what it is with this year, but a lot of teams are losing games that they're not supposed to lose. Barcelona and Real Madrid lost on the same day, which hasn't happened since 2018. It's just been a little bit of weird of the start of the season. Virgil van Dijk got injured for Liverpool, which is pretty crazy because that's their top defensive player. So prayers up for Virgil van Dijk. Hopefully he comes back pretty soon. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I also heard one thing soccer related. I want you to confirm and tell if it's true.
Please.
Did Cristiano Ronaldo test positive for COVID this week?
Thank you, Barry. Yes,
Yeah, he
did. Cristiano Ronaldo tested positive. He was actually playing with the Portugal national team when he got tested positive, so he ended up not playing the last game before the international break. So he had to quarantine. So he's gonna be joining Liverpool. He's gonna be joining Juventus whenever he tests negative for COVID-19. I think he has to be he needs to have 2 negative tests before he joins Juventus again.
That was crazy, because
it is.
he was the one player who actually flew all his family into the island. He owns like an island or something like that, and he was out there. He was like, "I'm out,"
Yeah,
because he was in Italy, and that whole thing broke out over there, and he was
I
like,
remember.
"Yo, I'm gone."
Yeah.
You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean?
No, I heard about that too. Right.
No, was that it for soccer?
That's it, man.
Ooh,
I know. Quick.
Okay.
I need me like somebody else that knows soccer to have like that
right. That back and
full-on
forth.
conversation.
Yeah,
but
tell them to have less teams, and I got you.
Right. I just wanted to ask you a quick question, soccer related.
For sure.
And you said that a lot of these teams are losing games and they're not playing as well as they should be. Do you think it's COVID related, or they're just not playing well and they're not executing and playing at the level they need to be playing?
No, I do think some of it is the lack of fans. A lot of those teams are playing without fans.
Lack of energy.
Right,
I
absolutely.
think it's a little different. I mean, you have a team like Real Madrid was not showing up the way they usually do. You have a team like Barcelona was not showing up like they usually do. It's just, I think fans not being there definitely has a lot to do with it.
For sure.
It's been a weird year in general. So this week Champions League comes back, so we'll see.
Oh, nice.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how different that can be. So yeah.
No, that's what's up, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions, Barry.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Definitely wanted to, ask you, the soccer guy on the show, to some questions, since I had those in mind, and I know our soccer fans would appreciate, your answers to that.
Yeah, man. So we actually got a few questions of the week right here. And these questions are gonna come from PJ Andrews from Thompson,
my
Connecticut.
guy, PJ.
Shout outs to PJ.
Definitely.
Your guys have a lot of questions, and then Eddie Rodriguez is coming back from Philly. He got 2 questions. We're gonna post together. So PJ Andrews from Connecticut. His question is: with the rise of the COVID-19 cases in the NFL, what comes first? All teams having no fans in the stands, or the league calling quits and chalking the season up as a loss?
Well, I think they need. I think a lot of teams right now have no fans, anyways.
Yeah.
I think there are only a few teams that are allowing fans, and I think they obviously need to chill with that.
Facts.
No doubt.
And I don't think the league is trying to chalk up it for a loss at all, and I don't think they will. I know the NFL, and I know they're money hungry, and they definitely want. I think they might have to take a break at some point. They might have to prolong the season into March, maybe even April.
Yeah.
But as far as chalking it up to a loss, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with that. I think if it came down to it, and they had to make a decision, the NFL, they would decide to have no fans in their games for all teams, than to chalk up the season and call it quits and a loss. I think the NFL, and particularly the owners, they just have too much pride. I mean, and even Roger Goodell, they just have too much pride to be the only professional sports league and organization that had to cancel the season and not being able to finish it. So I think one way or another they're gonna, find a way to, finish this season, even if it means prolonging it and adding a week 18, which they've discussed. And doing that and doing different things to be able to get the season done and finish the season. But yeah, I just really don't see the at NFL with all the power and all the authority, and as driven as the owners are to make as much money as they can and to have this season, to just all of a sudden not give up and to all of a sudden give up and not be able to have not finish the season. So I think if anything, they would probably have to suspend it for a little bit and regroup and let these teams get situated, and make sure everything's in the clear before they get back into it. It was a good sign that there were no positive tests yesterday, which is definitely a good sign for the league. And that was the first time that all year that they haven't had any positive tests at all. So hopefully that continues moving forward for them.
Yeah, I think you guys answered that pretty well. We've talked about that on the show before. Like, there should be a pause at this rate right now. Just like maybe a couple weeks, a month maybe, just to figure out what they want to do moving forward. But I don't see them calling you follow the money, man. These guys are money hungry. They're not going to just stop the season and lose money. And to the questions from Eddie Rodriguez, he has two questions about the Steelers. And the first question...
Just before we move on, let's make sure we thank...
PJ?
PJ.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah. Thank you, PJ. We appreciate that,
PJ.
man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. Moving on to Eddie Rodriguez from Philadelphia. He had questions about... So 2 weeks in a row. Lives in Philly?
Yes, sir.
2 weeks in a row.
He lives in Philly, but he's a Steelers fan. I know, that's weird.
No, it's not weird because they're in the same state.
Are they?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania? Yeah. Right. Yeah,
It is, but usually people from Philly are Eagles fans.
Right.
I know, but I'm like, if you're in the same state, I feel as though, like...
I wasn't even thinking about that.
You know what I mean? It's going to be...
it could go either way, right? But usually it's, for the most part, they fall on the side of the Eagles, but you never know, could, be a Steelers fan as well. I think he said that his family was, like, into the, Steelers, and, that's what, like, got him into... being a Steelers fan. So sometimes that has an impact and can affect which side you go on as well.
Yeah, no, that is true. You can tell how well I did in geography, so that's great.
You didn't know that they were both
No, I did. I wasn't thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so in my head, I'm like, so this guy's from Philly but likes the Steelers? Like, how does that work? Like, they're from the same state. Well, obviously. That makes sense. No, shout out to Eddie Rodriguez,
it's funny because those teams are so
different.
Such big team and so different. Mm-hmm. Like, you never think about them being in the same state. You know what I mean? Like, they're like well-renowned teams. You know what I mean? So you don't even think about them in the same... Like, I feel you, John. You never think about them being in the same state.
Right, and like you said, if you're from Philly, you like the Eagles and you like the Sixers. You know what I'm saying? If you're from Pittsburgh, you like, the Penguins and freaking Steelers. Those are your team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Pirates or whatever. But his question was, do you think the Steelers defense can be more effective? And that's one question. And do you think the Steelers should have given Le'Veon Bell a second chance, or do you think that it would mess up the chemistry among the other running backs?
I don't think the coach of the Steelers, what's his name?
Mike Tomlin.
I don't think he would have brought Le'Veon Bell back for a second chance.
Hell
I think that he's just done and over with that, and I think he's doing well with the team he has now. Mm-hmm. And I think he's he's running backs now, and I think he's okay with that. I don't think he would want to bring like a veteran like Le'Veon Bell who already had a stint with him, and it's not like they they had the best of goodbyes. You know what I mean? So I just don't think he would have brought that back.
Right.
As far as the Steelers defense, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of the Steelers defense.
Yeah.
I don't watch all the Steelers games, so I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, as far as the defense, I know that the defense is pretty good. They've played well this year for the most part. They played well yesterday against the Browns, and certainly have a lot of good young talent on that side of the ball, and so I think they can definitely be effective enough throughout the season in order for them to be able to win the division and make a playoff run. So no, I am definitely buying on their defense and think that it's good enough to be able to, be a really good team this year, and for them to have a really good season and go deep into the playoffs.
Do you think they can be more effective, as Eddie is asking?
A little bit. They can be a little bit more effective. They're playing well. I know they had a tough game against the Eagles a couple weeks ago, but in which they didn't play as well. But I think for the most part they've been playing pretty well since they're actually 5-0 right now, and haven't lost a game, and they've been doing well enough to be able to win football games and and causing turnovers. So maybe they could be a little bit more effective, but I think they're doing a very good job of getting the stops when they need to.
What about the Le'Veon Bell?
And as far as Le'Veon Bell goes, I think they're doing just fine with what they have. right. Like I said, right, exactly, right. They're able to still run the football. I know James Conner has been banged up, and maybe that's why he's asking that question, because I know they have some young running backs over there that haven't played that much, but they're still must be doing well and doing their job if they're 5-0. And we know Big Ben's playing well too, and the receivers are balling as well, especially that Chase Claypool kid. He's been doing this thing, and I actually just picked him up in fantasy in a couple of my leagues. But I don't think Le'Veon Bell should have gotten a second chance with the Steelers. He pretty much burned that bridge with Mike Tomlin and that organization, and it was too far gone to be able to go back to that. So they made the right call and decision in not bringing him back to the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, like Barry was saying, I think the defense is pretty effective. I mean, they let up 7 points yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Against the Browns, and the Browns, the Browns haven't been the greatest team in the last few years, in the last 100 years. It seems like. But this year, they're 4-2. They were 4-1 going into this game, and they've been scoring. So I think since they got Fitzpatrick from Miami, they've done very well. The safety from Miami. Yeah. Since they traded for him, that defense has
he had a pick six yesterday.
Yeah, that defense has just been playing lights out.
They've been balling.
And like Barry said, they had a tough time against Philadelphia, but that's gonna happen. It's a long season, so you're not gonna hold. The only way they can be effective is what, to hold every team to 0 points. Like, you're not gonna do that.
More than 7 points as they did yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they're 5-0. Like, they're squarely in the playoff race. Like, I'd be surprised if they didn't make it at this rate. Roethlisberger's playing really well. If for some reason Chase Claypool is still on your waiver wire, I don't know what you're doing. Pick that guy up.
Exactly. He shouldn't be available in any leagues.
I mean, obviously a defense can always be more effective. Like I said, you could give up 0 points week in and week out. So there's always room for improvement on defense. But given that they're 5-0, I don't think they're doing terribly. I think there's other teams that should be more worried about their defense than the Steelers should this year.
No question.
And the defense kept them in the game all of last year. and
Right.
they salvaged the season. And as
They
far as
almost even made
Le'Veon,
the playoffs, right.
as far as Le'Veon Bell coming back, that'd be like so stupid. If I was like, I'd fire Mike Tomlin to bring that headache back into your locker room. The guy sat down a whole year because he didn't want to play for you. Now I get it; it was a money situation, but at the same time, that's a person that tells you, they're not a team first person. I can
Right.
firmly say that that's not a team first person.
Not at
You know
all.
what I'm saying? You see the first team guys, they're like, hey, they're not talking contracts. I'm gonna play out the season and do what I do next year. And they still get their butts in there and they do what they gotta do. Even the guy was getting franchised that year. It's like you're still gonna make close to what the top guys making in the league. Yeah, it's gonna
Right,
be
you're
for
gonna
one
make your bread
year,
regardless.
but like I'd rather take that than nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Steelers should never think about Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell ever again. That's where I'm at with the Steelers. If I was them, I wouldn't think about these guys at all. That's where I stand with that. Thank you guys once again, man, for sending us the questions. You can always email us profansports1@gmail.com. But we're on social media. You can DM our social media on any platform, and we'll get back to you. We're even on Tumblr, and then now
And TikTok.
Yeah, follow us on TikTok, Profan Sports.
Yes, absolutely. We're everywhere.
And lastly, we're gonna do the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week, which is gonna be different, I believe, this week.
Yes, it is. So I'm gonna give for this B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week a special shout out to one of my very good and close friends that has been a huge supporter of this podcast and this show since day one, and that's Brennan Dennis, aka DJ BDawg. So big shout outs to him. He had a big week this week. When he was on vacation, he had a lot of things to celebrate because not only was he celebrating his 30th birthday, as well as Vlad was, but he also just yesterday, Sunday night, actually proposed to his girlfriend Lisa and got engaged and put a ring on it.
Shout outs to DJ BDawg, man. That's huge, bro.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations,
so he officially, got on one knee, popped the question, and to his girl, and she said yes. So that's really awesome, and I'm extremely ecstatic and happy for both DJ BDawg and Lisa, since she's a very good and close friend of mine as well, and I've known them for a very long time, and they've always been very good people to me, and always been very supportive to me, especially on this podcast. They're like two of my biggest fans, so I greatly appreciate those guys for all their support and just being a good person and friend to me, and being able to have a good week to be able to go enjoy themselves in Aruba. They actually went to Aruba this week to celebrate Brandon's birthday, and then he proposed to her in Aruba as well. So definitely big shout outs to them, to both of those guys, for to both Lisa and Brandon on being a now happily engaged couple and being a fiance, and I'm looking forward to the wedding. And so right now, they've told me I'm gonna be the best man at the wedding. So, and that's the first time I've ever been best man at a wedding. So I'm excited and looking forward to that as well. So, B Money Lifestyle of the Week is Brennan Dennis. So congrats to him. Now, just one quick thing. I know we didn't touch this on the NFL segment, but the Dak Prescott injury, I just wanted to get your on that and what happened last week for the Dak Prescott with the Cowboys.
I mean, there's nothing to really, there's no thoughts really. It was a bad situation, and good luck to
Dak Prescott.
Prescott, man. I feel for him, and I hope he makes a speedy recovery, man.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, sucks. It sucks for him. in the middle of negotiations, really, because I mean he's playing on the franchise tag, so you're still basically negotiating. It sucks that it happened now, but you know the guy was playing his heart out, even though his team was losing every other game, but he was actually playing really well.
Yep.
He was putting really great numbers out there, and for him to get injured the way he did is something you never want to see. It just happens in sports, you know. I mean, it reminded me obviously of Gordon Hayward's injury, but he got that surgery done that night, the night of the injury, and now he's back in the Cowboys facility every day. He takes a COVID-19 test every day just so that he can be in the facilities with the guys, and you know
That's a leader.
Right, absolutely.
and eventually he's gonna get paid.
Yeah, and he had no infections in his repaired ankle, so that's good
That's
for him.
big.
That's
No,
huge.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you guys. What you're saying, I just want to bring up one thing real quick that I think, you know, with all due respect, I think Dak Prescott's camp screwed him over. Because,
I don't think it was his camp.
well,
I think it was-
think he should have taken the deal what Dallas, you know, proposed him. Because in the NFL,
It was
as
a
you
good.
know,
It was a good deal.
exactly. In the NFL, as you guys know, when you have a chance to get the bag and get paid well and be able to, you know, get a big long-term contract and a high-paying contract, you got to get it when you can and when it's there, because you don't know what's going to happen next year or even the next game, or if you're going to even make it to that point, because this could happen to anybody, and unfortunately it happened to Dak Prescott, and wish him, you know, a quick and speedy recovery, and he looks like he's doing well, and I'm glad to hear that. But I just feel like the, you know, Cowboys in his camp screwed him over on, you know, not being able to get that deal done when they did, so that they can be able to take care of him for the long term, because he deserved to be the quarterback for the Cowboys, you know, moving forward in the future. That's just how I feel about that.
Right, man. Like we said, man, you know, speedy recovery to that dude. I think there was definitely other reasons why he could have taken a deal, you know, whenever he wanted, you know. So like these guys, these agents are not telling you can't take that, you know what I'm saying? Like if he felt like, you know, that was the deal for him, I think he would have taken it. And I think, you know, given the contracts that the NFL is giving out, he had the right to, you know, try to get as much as he could. And I mean, I don't think this is the end of his career. So
No, definitely not. He'll be back.
He got a bag this year, and I think given the way he started this year, I think a team's gonna
balling.
look at it and be like, yo, you know, if everything works out with his ankle, he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid.
I do agree with Barry that the bag that they were trying to get him, and that the Cowboys offered him something close to like 35, close to 40 million.
That range, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's exactly the deal that the guy from Houston,
Deshaun Watson got
Deshaun
right,
Watson
right.
got
He
a-
got something in that ballpark, right?
I think he should have taken him.
Absolutely. No, I agree with
Like,
you, lad.
because he hasn't won. I understand he was trying to play for it, but you haven't won yet, man. Like,
Contract with quarterbacks, that's too big of a risk to take.
Yeah.
Too risky, and you're right. You can't afford it. The other positions, I get it, but with the quarterback, that's different, man. Like,
Yeah.
the NFL's not for long. So
I mean, he'll cross that bridge when he comes back to it. But
I
again,
don't know how that's
good
gonna
luck.
go now with him and Jerry Jones.
good luck to him.
Yeah, no, good luck for sure.
But you know, congratulations to DJ BDawg, who was the focus of the B Money lifestyle. We definitely want to say happy birthday again to Vlad,
Yes,
because that was
happy
his
birthday, Vlad. Yes, yes.
Thank
we
you,
didn't
guys.
shout him out last podcast, and you know, make sure we do it this time.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
lastly, I wanted to make sure I said happy birthday to my baby, my daughter, Liana Marie Altidor. You know, she's turning 6 tomorrow, on Tuesday the 20th. So, Daddy loves you, and you know, continue growing and being a great kid.
Yes, happy birthday to your daughter.
What's her name?
Liana Marie.
Liana Marie. Happy birthday!
Yes.
Happy 6th birthday!
Yes.
Yes, Liana, happy birthday.
Even though you don't like our podcast because
Because it's boring.
we're boring.
Right, for real.
It's so boring, Daddy. Actually,
Right, no, but
DJ.
big shout out to your daughter, John.
DJ BDawg actually gave her a shout out on his live, and you know her mouth dropped like, the guy on the radio knows my name. So that was pretty
That's
funny.
awesome.
And shout outs to him. Shout outs to all the birthdays, man. You know, just enjoy it, and that's gonna be it for episode 31, man. Until next time, we'll catch you.
True peace. Congrats again, Brandon and Lisa, on your engagement. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out.
Peace.